Good morning, Tony Datino, doing my live with Tony on Monday. And if I look at the calendar, my goodness, it is November the 13th. As the days of November just seem to fly by faster than the days of October. I wanted to talk about some of the meetings that I've been going to over the last few weeks, be it on Zoom or be in person or be on a telephone. There seems to be a growing concern and a growing body of evidence about people feeling lonely or being alone, feeling isolated, and how that leads to cognitive decline, how it may lead to shorter life expectancies, and in that regard, what can you do about it? And so over the last couple of years, I've been a part of a workshop that we are calling Cognitive Connections, Brain Health. And in that workshop, we take people through a series of activities, and I'm trying to pick my word because one of the activities that they go through is exercise. We have a fantastic woman that runs an exercise program within a curriculum that is just fantastic, and people get up and they're moving, and it just proves over and over again to me the importance of movement. And so within this curriculum we have, which is a 4-hour curriculum we do 2 days a week, there's movement, there's exercise on two parts of the program. There's 2 half-hour pieces of it, and the people that are a part of it just love it, and they're people who are feeling alone. They're people who have felt isolated. They're sitting home and just watching television, and their family members or their caregivers are at least bringing them into an environment where they're moving. And that brought me to an article that is coming out of the November issue. I want to make sure I give you the right reference to the November issue of Mind, Mood, and Memory. And here's this issue of Mind, Mood, and Memory. It says, how many steps should you take for a longer life? And the point that I keep making over and over again is the importance of exercising or movement. And exercising is moving, not just sitting there and watching TV and getting up at the end of the night and feeling your lower back and your, oh God, my neck. And it's just moving, even walking around. I do a half-hour exercise program watching TV. I might have 5-pound dumbbells with me doing it, or I may have 3 pounds, or I may just be doing the rubber bands that I use. So, but watching TV with a half hour of some movement makes it a whole lot different on how I feel. So here's an article that comes out of this, the Mind, Mood, and Memory. How many steps should you take for a longer life? So just think, how much movement should you take for a longer life? If you count your daily strides, assuming that anything short of 10,000 is missing the mark, count again. Recent research has shown that people taking 3,900 steps, which is about 2 miles, is linked to substantially reduced risk of dying from any cause. So not even half, 3,900. So this research comes out and says taking 2,300 steps is associated with a lower risk of dying from cardiovascular. With each additional 500 steps, your risk of early death from CVD, cardiovascular disease, is reduced by 7% for every 500. Now again, I don't know who gets that specific, but it starts off with 3,900 steps, 2 miles. So I make a point of, when I'm not doing my running, now on a program where at least for 5 days, I'm either running 3 and walking 2. When I walk 2 miles. I didn't realize that was 3,900 steps. But the point of it is you're moving. You're getting active and you're moving. And then watching TV, I do enjoy watching what I call mindless television, where I'm not getting stressed or anxious. So watching the Giants against the Cowboys yesterday was not what I call mindless television. I finally gave it up at 35-7, saying this is just not fun. So mindless TV, just putting on, like I like The Amazing Race. I watch The Amazing Race in the different countries and the challenges they have. but I'm not attached to it. I don't find my emotions getting crazy. I don't feel any tension or stress over it. I find that it's just meditative types of programming. And so there are some programs that I just watched. This other one is called The Wall, right, where these balls drop down. I'm not stressed. I watch this crazy program. It's on for a bit. They ask them, some issues and questions, and so boom, the ball drops, and people make money or they lose money. So it's an interesting game. Again, I don't stress over it. I like the Price is Right. My point to you is, what are we doing in terms of our engagement in life that allows us to meditate in some level, or I call it watching mindless television, and moving 3,900 steps and making movements. Now, one other point in the article that was here was their news briefs. People with cognitive decline living alone may pose risk. 1 in 4 individuals with mild cognitive impairment live alone. Well, that's a little, I never thought about that. And I know we've been meeting people with mild cognitive impairment, and we put them through this workshop that we're talking about, Connections, Brain Health. And my goodness, I can't believe the difference it makes for the people that are part of it. And one of the major categories, or the major benefits of it, are the friendships they're making. They're no longer sitting at home. They may be making phone calls. They may be joining people inside, in between the sessions, going out for a cup of coffee. They may have, here in the warmer weathers, they may have invited them over to go sit out in the backyard and have a picnic. So they're making friends. And they're not isolated. And boy, what a benefit that gives to the caregivers. It gives the caregivers a break. It gives them a little bit of time to get away. It gives them a little bit of focus to their own lives, so that they can rebuild that energy for the loved ones that they so care about and come back in and make a difference. So we have, within this Connections Brain Health workshop, we have a session called Meet the Mystery Guest. And what the purpose of it is they're going to meet someone, and they're going to think about the questions that they may want to learn and know about this person we call the mystery guest. And as they meet this person who is the mystery guest, then what we're doing is we're teaching them some fundamental skills that they can utilize to just about meet anyone. Because one of the things people are concerned about when they're meeting new people, they don't want to feel rejected. They don't want to feel that they've been intrusive. They don't want to feel that they're risking, upsetting someone. And we do live in a little bit of a crazy time today where you do need to be sensitive to that. But if you're just sitting on a porch in your neighborhood or sitting outside, right? It's still warm here in Florida, so you can do this in Florida. In New York, maybe you got to look at your window. But in any case, teaching people how to engage in friendly conversation and dialogue. And so I was walking yesterday, and there was this beautiful white dog on a leash with a couple of ladies who were sitting on a bench at the end of our 2-mile walk. And I just asked the woman going by, my God, that dog is gorgeous. How do you keep a dog that pure and white clean? And she said, it's not always easy. And so we stopped and just had a brief conversation, but it was just fun, just for those few, a minute, just to engage in a lady who was walking her dog that was absolutely gorgeous, but was pure white, and say, how do you, more fluffy and what have you. So it was just fun. Now, people with cognitive decline living alone, 1 out of 4, I just find that to be so hard. It puts at risk, such as unsafe driving, wandering outside the home, mixing up medications. They have a risk for things like missing medical appointments and failing to follow healthy eating, exercising, or socializing, and hygiene habits. So there's a whole bunch of things that really make a difference. And what they're saying is expanding Medicare and Medicaid services to provide help for these individuals may be the way to do it. If you know someone who lives alone and is experiencing impairment, reach out and see if there's something you can do to help them. And that's the point of this workshop, Connections Brain Health. We're reaching out to people, and we're giving them several hours of activity, be it physical, be it mental, be it the social interactions that are making a huge difference in the lives of the people that we're able to touch. And I think this program is just explosive, and I think has amazing, amazing opportunities and growth opportunities. That is my Monday session. I was reading this over the weekend, and I just felt that, my goodness, there were at least a couple of things in here, from the walking, how many steps, right? You don't have to go crazy. 2 miles will do it for you. Try. Sometimes they say, okay, I'll drive a car to a spot. Okay, that's 1 mile, and then I turn around and say, okay, I come back. Now I know where I need to walk. So, I mean, there's always to figure out how to go 2 miles and at least get 3,900 steps, which you're saying has significant benefits and reductions into long-term health and life expectancies. And to me, that's important for all of us. I think we all can do something different. All have the ability of making changes that are beneficial to us. And I just encourage everybody to do that. See you on Wednesday.